name is Njoroge, and I'm here to share my testimony of how God healed me from a clot in my brain. In 2014, December 2014, I started feeling a bit odd, like I could have these on and off headaches. I was not aware of where they were coming from, but I thought, just life and the holidays. I just thought it's, the normal headaches, but I'm not that kind of person who gets headaches out of nowhere. So I just had those at the back of my head, but I never took any medication. So it was on and off, until around the third month of 2015. That is when the headaches intensified. So in March 2015, I started experiencing headaches that were not leaving. They were not stopping. I had a headache every day. I go to sleep with a headache. I wake up at night maybe to pray or go to the washroom with a headache. When I wake up in the morning, I still have a headache. I took no medication, no painkillers. I continued on going to work. I actually thought I was being stressed. It was that time of life when work was okay. We had just opened a new branch. I had done a bit of recruitment and training. So I had a bit on my hands. And I thought, you know what, I think I need to take a break. I need to take a few days off because I'm tired. But I could not take a break because we had just opened a new branch. So I continued on with my work. But it came to a point where the headaches were too much. I could not even concentrate. After 2 weeks of extreme pain, and now these were becoming migraines, I decided to speak. For all this time, I had not told anybody. I decided to, share with somebody. And I sent a friend of mine a message and said, hey, I don't think I'm okay. It's been 2 weeks since I had this headache and it's not going. Actually, a few days before I sent that message, I had tried on some painkillers. I went to the supermarket, I bought your regular painkillers. I swallowed a few. I think I even overdosed, but nothing happened. They were unresponsive. So I decided, hey, let me tell somebody. So I told her, and she asked me whether I've told somebody else. I said, no. She said, you know what you need to do? You need to go see a doctor. I thought, okay, fine. I sent the same message to my boss and said, I don't think I'm well because I've been having this headache for a while now. About 2 weeks, and it's not going away. I've tried some painkillers, but this headache is still not going away. He immediately responded by coming to work and taking me to his family doctor. He took me to his family doctor where I was assessed. We spoke, he tried assessing me and he thought I was falling into depression. I was sure I was not depressed, though life wasn't easy at that time. I had just gone through a separation, and though I was okay, I thought I was okay. I was not stressed. But he thought I was. So I mean, who am I to argue with the doctor? So he gave me some strong painkillers, some antidepressants, and off I went. I went home and I went to bed. But even in my sleep, I still had these headaches. They were too much. My heart was pumping so fast. My head was paining too much, excruciating pain. I was sweating. I couldn't even cry because of the pain. It was too much. Tears were just rolling from my eyes, just uncontrollably, without making any effort to cry, because I had no strength even to cry because of the pain that I was going through. My entire head, my forehead, my entire skull was in pain. It felt like I had been hit by a giant hammer, and the giant hammer rested on my head. So the pain was there, and the weight, I felt like something heavy was laying on my head, like that giant hammer hit my skull, and it remained there, and the pain from the way it hit me was still there, and the pain from the weight was still there, and it was too bad. So painful. I had never experienced anything like this in my life. Even after being a mother and giving birth, I cannot compare birth pains with the kind of pain my head was going through. I woke up the following day after seeing the doctor, my boss's family doctor. I tried to go to work, which I did. I think I just took a cab. I went to work, and being at the office, I was even unable to communicate to the staff. You see, having been the senior person in that company at that time, I was, in charge of operations and everything. And so, in case of anything, they would come to me, ask for advice, and what do you do about this, what do you do about the other. It came to a point where I was not even understanding what they're saying. They're speaking to me, and I'm like, what are you even saying? So I started losing my ability to understand words which are spoken to me. So it got to a point that I asked them to just text me. I'm on duty, I'm there, but I cannot understand what they're saying to me. So I told them, just text me. If you have anything to say to me, you want to ask me something, just send me a message. And that's how I operated for a few days. I could just respond to them on text. But it got to a time where I could not even understand the text messages. So I was losing my comprehension. I was losing my ability to recognize words. And it came to a point where I was also not able to respond. I could not find words. I know what they're saying to me. I think those words are familiar. I think I know what I'm supposed to say or to respond, but I'm unable to construct a statement. That is where it had gotten. At this time, I think I am about 3 weeks in, and going in and out of work. Sometimes I could go to work for 3 hours, and it was enough for me. I just take a cab and go back home. I go to sleep. One day, it was so painful. At 6 in the morning, I knew this is it now. My body cannot take any more of this pain. It was so much. I just sent my boss a message and said, this headache is about to kill me. I am about to die. Like literally, this is it. I cannot take a second longer. I cannot take a minute longer. This is it. There's absolutely no way I'm going to make it out. And immediately he sent a colleague of mine. And my mom also was made aware, because I could not speak to people, I could not call because I had no words. I was struggling to construct statements. So when I sent a message to one person, I expect them to send to the rest of the people. So during that time, not so many people heard from me. I think some of them heard from my colleagues or my mom, my sisters. I was unable to even remember who I am supposed to, when you're sick, you know that I'm supposed to tell this person and the other. But for me, once I communicate to one person, I have communicated. And once I sent that message to my boss saying this headache is about to kill me, he sent a colleague of mine to come get me. When he came to my house, I was laying there unable, even, I don't even think I was breathing. It was so bad that I couldn't even recognize myself. I didn't even know whether I was alive or dead. I laid there like a piece of pain. Just the headache caused the entire body, my entire body feel like it was not existing, like I was not existing. The only thing that made sense was the pain. That was the only thing that made sense. It was so painful that everything else was irrelevant. I don't know whether that makes sense, but that is what I felt at that time. So when he came, I could not even speak. I just saw somebody standing there, and I think he saw the state of which I was in. And he just, I used to live on the second floor of this flat, which had no elevator. And he carried me all the way down, and he took me to Medanta, the hospital in Westlands. And when we got there, I was examined. A CT scan was done on me. They examined my eyes. They did some blood work. The CT scan examination came back saying that I was okay. The conclusion was that I was suffering from migraine. And that's what it was at that time. And they put me on medication. They gave me some medicine and asked me to just go home with my scan. It was unbelievable to go back home, like I'm going back home with the same, without an answer, basically, without an answer. I started, the painkillers they administered were a bit of help, but I cannot say they really solved, a big chunk of the pain that I was going through. What they were able to do is that I was able to stand, I was able to go to the shower, I was able to brush my teeth. But I wanted to be in silence. I wanted to be in darkness. I did not want any disturbances. I did not want anybody to call me. I did not want anyone to ask me a question that would involve me thinking, because even thinking was painful. Even thinking was painful. I did not want to think. I did not want anybody to ask me anything. And by this time, I'm not going to work, because now I'm ill. I'm very sick. The headaches are still there. After being seen by this hospital, the medication came to a point where now the medication was not working at all. Yeah, at all. My mom had to stop working. She came back to stay with me in my house. And a week after the Medanta visit, I was sleeping. And at that time I felt, I'm back to that morning where I was about to die. I'm back there, I'm unable to breathe. I cannot take this anymore. And I tried to open my eyes. When I opened my eyes, I thought, let me just try and go to the washroom and see whether I'm able to